Have you ever had the sense that the world is hiding something from you? Not in an obvious way, but subtly, hidden in the patterns, symbols, and stories that surround us every day. There's a secret woven into the fabric of existence that most people never notice. But once you see it, once you truly understand it, everything changes. It's as if a veil is lifted and you can finally see the world for what it truly is. But let me warn you, this journey is not for the faint of heart. What I'm about to share with you will challenge your perspective, perhaps even unsettle you. But if you're ready, if you have the courage to look deeper, then join me. Together we'll uncover what has been hidden all along. Throughout history, there have been those who understood this hidden truth. The architects of temples, the keepers of mysteries. They saw the world as a vast, interconnected design, a grand architecture of symbols and meaning. These symbols weren't just artistic flourishes. They were blueprints, messages encoded in stone, star alignments, and sacred texts. They weren't just building temples. They were teaching us how to construct something far greater, the inner temple of the self. The square, the compass, the all-seeing eye. These are not random symbols. They are keys, each one holding a piece of the puzzle. The square represents moral integrity, the solid foundation upon which all else is built. The compass reminds us to seek balance, to measure our actions and intentions. And the all-seeing eye. This isn't just a mystical symbol, it is an invitation. It asks us to awaken, to see not just with our eyes, but with our understanding. The first time I truly understood these symbols, it felt as though I had stepped into another world. I was standing before an ancient structure, its carvings intricate and purposeful. At first, it seemed like just another monument to the past, but then the pattern started to speak to me. It was as if the building itself was alive, whispering secrets about life, about balance, about power. And I realized they weren't just building for themselves. They were leaving a message for those of us willing to listen. Symbols are the language of the universe, a way of communicating truths that words often cannot. And once you learn to read this language, you begin to see it everywhere. In the architecture of your city, in the designs of currency, even in the constellations above. It's as if the entire world is a code, and you've been handed the key to unlock it. But this journey isn't just about seeing the symbols around you, it's about understanding the symbols within you. The square isn't just about external foundations, it's about building your character. The compass isn't just about navigating space, it's about navigating your inner world. And the all-seeing eye, it's not an external force watching you, it's the part of you that observes, that questions, that seeks truth. It is your higher self urging you to wake up. Let me share a personal story. There was a time in my life when I felt lost. My thoughts were scattered, my emotions overwhelming, and my actions lacked purpose. I was like a builder trying to construct something without a blueprint. One day I went on a solitary hike into the mountains. I had no plan, no destination, just a need to escape the noise of the world. As I climbed, the path grew steeper, the air thinner. Each step demanded focus, attention, and effort. By the time I reached the summit, something within me had shifted. The chaos in my mind had quieted, replaced by a clarity I hadn't felt in years. Standing there, looking out at the vast expanse below, I realized something profound. The mountain wasn't just a physical climb, it was a symbol of the inner work I needed to do. Each step represented a challenge, a lesson, a piece of the temple I was building within myself. That day I began to understand what it truly means to be a builder, not of monuments, but of meaning, of purpose, of self. The path of the builder begins in darkness, and this darkness, contrary to what we're taught, is not something to fear. It is in darkness that we find the fertile ground for transformation. Consider this. Light only has meaning because of darkness. Without shadows, we would not understand illumination. The challenges, the struggles, the failures, they are the chisels that shape us, revealing the strength and wisdom within. The journey of the builder is about balance between light and darkness, thought and emotion, action and stillness. And this balance is not something you find, it is something you create. It is the result of mastering three forces: thought, emotion, and action. Thought is the architect, shaping the blueprint of your reality. But left unchecked, it can spiral into confusion, doubt, and fear. Emotion is the driving force, the passion that fuels your actions. But when uncontrolled, it becomes chaos, leading you astray. Action is where thought and emotion converge, where intentions take form. But without purpose, action becomes hollow, even destructive. To master these forces is to build a temple of balance, thought guided by clarity, emotion tempered by wisdom, action aligned with purpose. This is the foundation of the inner temple, the structure that allows us to withstand the storms of life. Imagine a stairway, each step a discipline. Logic, rhetoric, music, geometry, astronomy. These aren't just academic pursuits. They are tools for refining the mind and spirit. They teach us to think critically, to express ourselves clearly, to find harmony in the chaos of existence. As you climb, you ascend not just physically, but spiritually, moving closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and the universe. And at the pinnacle of this ascent lies the all-seeing eye. It watches not as an external force, but as your inner observer. It asks, are you living with integrity? Are you aligned with your purpose? This eye challenges you to confront your shadows, to embrace your light, to see beyond the illusions of the world. Building your inner temple is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong journey. Each thought, each action, each lesson adds a stone to your structure. And as your temple grows, it becomes not just a sanctuary for yourself, but a beacon for others. It becomes a testament to your highest ideals, a legacy of integrity, wisdom, and truth. So I ask you, what will your temple look like? Will it stand strong, built with purpose and care? Or will it crumble under the weight of neglect? The choice is yours. But remember this, once you see this path, once you understand the power within you, there is no going back. To truly build your inner temple is to embark on a journey that requires courage, resilience, and most importantly, intention. Every choice you make is a brick, every belief a beam, every action a cornerstone in the architecture of your life. But this process isn't just about creating something beautiful, it's about creating something that endures. And endurance, my friend, comes from depth. Think about the great temples of the world, the pyramids of Egypt, the cathedrals of Europe, the temples of ancient India. What do they have in common? They weren't just built to withstand time, they were built to reflect something eternal. Their designs align with the stars, their structures mimic the harmony of the cosmos. These aren't just feats of engineering, they're acts of devotion, manifestations of a deeper understanding of the universe. Your inner temple should be no different. But how do you start building something eternal within yourself? The answer lies in mastering three key elements: awareness, discipline, and reflection. Awareness is the first step, for how can you shape something you cannot see? This is where the all-seeing eye becomes essential. It's not enough to live on autopilot, letting life's routines shape you. You must wake up. You must observe yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. You must question your habits and ask, are they building me up or are they tearing me down? I remember a time when I lived without this awareness. My days blurred together, guided by impulses rather than purpose. It wasn't until I started journaling, writing down my thoughts at the end of each day, that I began to see patterns. Patterns of self-sabotage, of avoidance, of missed opportunities. It was painful at first, confronting my own flaws. But in that pain was a spark of clarity, a blueprint for what needed to change. That's the power of awareness. It shines a light on the dark corners of your mind, revealing what you must confront to grow. Discipline is the next pillar of this construction. Awareness shows you what must be done, but discipline is what ensures the work gets completed. Think of the ancient builders, hauling massive stones, carving intricate details, working tirelessly day after day. They didn't rely on motivation or fleeting inspiration. They relied on discipline, on the quiet determination to see their vision realized no matter how long it took. In your life, discipline might look different. It might be committing to a daily meditation practice, or consistently choosing kindness over anger, or simply showing up for yourself even on the hard days. The truth is, discipline isn't glamorous. It's not the moments of triumph that define it, but the quiet, repetitive actions that no one else sees. Yet, these actions are what lay the foundation for greatness. And then there's reflection, the third element. Once the work is done, you must step back and evaluate. Are you satisfied with what you've built? Are your values, your actions, your legacy in alignment? This isn't about judging yourself harshly. It's about refining your craft. The ancient masons didn't create perfect temples in a single attempt. They adjusted, adapted, improved. You must do the same with your life. Reflection often requires solitude. In our world of constant noise, finding moments to sit quietly with your thoughts can feel impossible. But these moments are vital. For me, it's during my evening walks that I find clarity. There's something about the rhythm of my steps, the stillness of the night that allows me to think deeply. I ask myself, did I live today in alignment with my purpose? Did I build something meaningful, even in small ways? These questions guide me, ensuring that my temple grows stronger with each passing day. But let's talk about the challenges, because no journey worth taking is without obstacles. The forces of thought, emotion, and action, though essential, can also be your greatest adversaries. Your thoughts can become a labyrinth, trapping you in fear and doubt. Your emotions can flare like wildfires, consuming your focus and clarity. And your actions, when misaligned, can undo weeks, months, even years of progress. When I was younger, I thought I could outsmart these forces. I believed that sheer willpower could override my doubts, my insecurities. But the harder I pushed, the more I found myself stuck. It wasn't until I stopped resisting and started understanding these forces that I began to find balance. Thought, I realized, needs direction, like a river channeling its energy toward a goal. Emotion needs acknowledgement, not suppression, a way to express itself without overwhelming. And action needs purpose, a clear why to guide it. This balance doesn't come overnight. It's a process, one that requires patience and humility. But when you achieve it, even for a moment, the results are profound. You feel aligned, centered, capable of moving mountains, not because the world has changed, but because you have. Let me share another story. There was a time when I faced a decision that terrified me. I was offered an opportunity that could change my life, but it came with risks, financial, emotional, even reputational. My mind was a storm of doubts. What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? My emotions swung wildly from excitement to dread, and my actions, they froze. I avoided making the decision, hoping it would somehow resolve itself. It wasn't until I sat down and brought these forces into harmony that I found clarity. I wrote out my thoughts, sorting the rational fears from the irrational ones. I acknowledged my emotions, letting myself feel both the excitement and the fear without judgment. And then with purpose, I took action. I said yes to the opportunity, and though the journey that followed wasn't easy, it was transformative. That experience taught me that balance isn't just a concept, it's a practice, one that shapes every choice you make. As you continue to build your inner temple, remember that this journey is not solitary. Just as ancient builders worked in teams, learning from one another, so too must you seek guidance and inspiration from others. Books, mentors, even conversations with like-minded individuals can offer insights that elevate your perspective. But be discerning. Not all advice will align with your path. Choose what resonates, what strengthens your foundation, and leave the rest behind. And finally, let us not forget the legacy of the temple. What you build within yourself is not just for you. It radiates outward, touching the lives of those around you. When you live with integrity, when your actions reflect your highest values, you inspire others to do the same. Your temple becomes a beacon, a source of light in a world that often feels shrouded in darkness. But this legacy is not about seeking approval or accolades. It's about knowing deep within that you have lived a life of meaning. That the structure you've built, the thoughts, the actions, the values, is one you can stand behind. That, my friend, is the ultimate goal. So, as you lay the next stone in your temple, ask yourself, what am I building today? Is it aligned with my purpose? Is it strong enough to withstand the tests of time? And most importantly, does it reflect the best of who I am? Every action, every choice, every moment of your life contributes to the structure of this inner temple. But to build with purpose, you must first understand what it is you are building. This requires vision, a clear picture of who you want to become and the legacy you wish to leave behind. Without vision, your temple will lack direction, and without direction, it cannot stand strong. Let's talk about purpose, because it is the cornerstone of your temple. Purpose is not something you stumble upon. It is something you uncover through self-reflection, through exploration, through the willingness to question everything you've been taught about who you are and what you are here to do. Your purpose is unique to you, and finding it is one of the most transformative journeys you will ever undertake. I'll share something personal. There was a time when I chased goals that weren't truly mine. They were society's goals, my family's expectations, my own misplaced sense of what success should look like. I achieved some of those goals, but instead of fulfillment, I felt empty, like I was building a temple made of sand. It wasn't until I took a step back, stripped away the external pressures, and asked myself the hard questions. What do I truly value? What lights a fire within me? That I began to align my actions with my authentic purpose. That was when my temple began to take shape. This process of discovering purpose often requires letting go of the beliefs, habits, and even relationships that no longer serve you. It's not easy. There's a sense of loss, of stepping into the unknown. But this is the work of the builder. To create something extraordinary, you must be willing to clear away what is not essential. Once you've identified your purpose, the next step is to embody it. This is where discipline becomes crucial. Purpose without action is like a blueprint without a foundation. It exists in theory, but lacks substance. Discipline is the act of showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when it feels like progress is slow. It's the decision to keep laying one stone at a time, trusting that each small effort contributes to the greater whole. But let me tell you something important. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about consistency. There will be days when you falter, when the weight of life feels too heavy to carry. On those days, remember this: you are not starting over. Every stone you've already laid remains in place. Your temple is still standing, and you can always pick up where you left off. Let's take a moment to explore another vital aspect of this journey: resilience. Building something enduring means facing challenges, setbacks, and failures. These moments are not signs of weakness or inadequacy. They are opportunities to strengthen your foundation. Think of them as stress tests, moments that reveal the cracks in your structure so you can address them before they become larger issues. I once faced a situation that tested my resilience to its limits. A project I had poured my heart and soul into collapsed due to unforeseen circumstances. At first, I felt defeated, like all my efforts had been wasted. But as I reflected, I realized that the collapse wasn't the end of the journey. It was a chance to rebuild, this time with greater wisdom. I took the lessons from that failure and applied them to my next endeavor, and what I built afterward was far stronger and more aligned with my purpose than anything I had created before. This is the power of resilience. It's not just about bouncing back, it's about coming back stronger, wiser, and more determined. It's about understanding that the process of building is never linear. There will be moments of progress and moments of pause, moments of clarity and moments of doubt. But every experience, no matter how challenging, contributes to the depth and strength of your temple. As you continue to build, it's important to remember that your temple is not just a reflection of your inner world. It also influences the outer world. The energy you cultivate within yourself radiates outward, shaping your interactions, your relationships, and the impact you have on others. This is what it means to live with integrity, to ensure that the values you hold within are mirrored in your actions. When I think of integrity, I think of the ancient architects who aligned their temples with the stars. They understood that their work was not just for the present moment, but for future generations. They built with precision, with care, with an awareness of the interconnectedness of all things. In the same way, your life is a temple that extends beyond yourself. The choices you make ripple outward, affecting those around you and contributing to the collective structure of humanity. But let's not overlook the importance of rest and renewal in this process. Even the most dedicated builder needs moments of stillness to reflect, to recharge, to reconnect with the vision that guides them. Rest is not a sign of weakness. It is an essential part of the journey. In the quiet moments when the tools are set aside, you can step back and see your temple from a new perspective. You can appreciate how far you've come and realign with where you want to go. In these moments of reflection, you may also find that your vision evolves. What you once thought was the pinnacle of your temple may become just one step on a larger staircase. This is the beauty of growth. It is never ending. The temple you build today becomes the foundation for what you will create tomorrow. And as you stand within the structure of your inner temple, take a moment to acknowledge the journey that brought you here. Acknowledge the challenges you've overcome, the lessons you've learned, the strength you've cultivated. This is not about arrogance or self-congratulation. It's about gratitude for the process, for the progress, for the opportunity to build something meaningful. So I ask you again, what will your temple look like? What values will it embody? What legacy will it leave behind? The answers to these questions are yours to define, and they will shape not only your life, but the lives of those you touch. This journey of building is not for the faint of heart, but it is one of the most rewarding paths you can take. It is a journey of discovery, of growth, of transformation. And once you commit to the process, you will never look at the world or yourself the same way again. Because the truth is, the temple you are building is not just a structure. It is a reflection of the divine spark within you, the infinite potential that resides in every thought, every action, every moment. And when you truly see that, when you embrace it, there is no limit to what you can create. The work begins now. Lay the next stone with intention, build with purpose, and know that the temple you create will stand as a testament to the power within you, a power that, once awakened, will never be forgotten.